Hello everyone, welcome to Alphawisdom. I'm Mystic Cassandria. This week we're covering how to read a palm. We're putting everything together as much as we can find in the hand that we have gone over. So we're going to be looking at photos this week, and next week we will be doing pretty much the same thing, but perhaps the handprint of that person. All right, so we get started because it's going to take a little time. All right. Okay. Now, here's the guideline. Analysis of handprints or photos of hands. It's very important, especially with handprints, because you may be reading that palm again, and then the lines will look a little different, or you've got some new lines that you didn't see before. So it's always wise to put a date of it, okay? And that can apply to the photo also. And if you're doing that, you want to have the name here. You might want to put the date of birth, or certainly the date that you're doing this analysis. All right, you want to get the predominant hand type. That would be earth, air, water, or fire. Okay, you want to get that. That'll help you alone. All right, then we want to take a look at the strongest mounts. Now the mounts of the flesh below each finger, as well as right in here. This is the moon or Luna, and right here, your thumb ball. That's a mount, that's Venus. And the names of these mounts take the same planetary name as the finger. So this is Jupiter, Saturn, Apollo, and Mercury, okay? So we go on. So as you look at these, try to focus on which one appears the weakest out of all of these. And that doesn't mean that, oh my gosh, this is weak. No. Some of them are usually weak all the time. But it doesn't take anything away from them. They're not known to stand out. Okay, then we're going to look at the skin texture. It's very easy if you're looking at a hand because you can just feel it. Just touching lightly the skin. And how does it feel to you? Does it feel harsh? Is it coarse? Does it feel like paper? Or does it feel silky? You have to make a judgment there. And the best judgment is from actually touching the hand, all right? Okay. And then going on, you want to determine if this is a flexible hand. And I would suggest you kind of peep at the thumb. That's just a hint. But let's go into the fingers. Do you see anything unusual about the fingers? Are they standing tall on their own? Or are they leaning up against or bending? Are they bending toward another one? And then you've got space in between here. So we will call that a gap. All right. Let's go on. And of course, once we establish what shape this is, we will be answering whether the fingers are shorter than the palm. Okay, let's take a look at the thumb. What about the size of the thumb? Would you say it's flexible? Is it sitting high? High means it's very close to the hand, closest to the finger here, the index finger. All right, or is it sitting sort of medium, or is it sitting low? All right, and then of course, we want to talk about these two sections of the thumb. This is the will, and this is the logic, your ideas. We will omit the nail part because you're not looking at that side of the hand. But do you see any other comments you want to make? Because I didn't include the lines here. So you want to say something about the lines. And anything else you might want to add that you have a fairly good understanding of. All right, so that is a look at what we are dealing with. All right, let's take an example of the results. Okay, I put in some for you. There's a little more to be said, but this is for you. Okay. Now, this is your guide. This is an earth hand. The thumb is larger than the finger or longer than the finger. This is a broad palm. Sometimes it's called square, but its planetary name would be the earth hand type based on your question sheet. Okay? So we've established that. It always has a square palm. And the fingers, we measure from this point to this point and across from this end to this end. If they come out pretty much the same, that is a square palm. And for it to be earth hand, the fingers have to be shorter than the palm. In this case, they are. Okay, so that's established. Now, looking at the fingers. They seem to be standing up comfortably, but I pointed out the space in between, or the gap. When we have gaps between the index and the middle finger, it's always a question of independence. Here's a person that likes to make up their own mind. They'll hear what you have to say, but they want to make up their own mind. This one shows a desire to work on your own, right in here, this gap. This is not much. Well, it's almost not worth mentioning, so we'll leave it there. All right, speaking of this area where we talk about the mounts, we have the Saturn mount, Luna, and Venus. I mention those because they seem to stand out. Luna really stands out. Venus stands out too because it's a large hand. The hand is broad, but this stands flat, and it's ordinarily how it always stands, flat. This is somewhat flat too. Sometimes we have that. We have a little lifting right in here, somewhat in between the ring finger and the Mercury finger. So we can omit that. Now, as far as relationships or marriage lines, this one has a strong one here. That's the only one I see. It looks like one may want to come out here, but it's not there yet, so we will leave that. And just taking a peek at this line, the heart line, there's emotional issues here because you've got a lot of lines branching off, but they're going down. So it's a person that remembers all the hurts and doesn't want to forget them. All right, here we have Apollo line. And it penetrates below the heart line, which makes it official. So I'd say this person is one who has talent in one of the artistic areas, and he's known, publicly known. Could be international as well as national. So it's fine. And there is a fork here, which is okay. So the person is doing better, but this is the weaker of the lines, I'd say. All right, here's the headline. It's broken. And then it's like they started off toward the middle of the finger, I'd say around age 30, and then there was something coming up before they reached that point that carried them on, and it seemed to work out better. So that's the headline. And it's joined at the beginning with the lifeline. And that indicates that this person is a little cautious, stayed around the family until late teens, followed the family's training with them. It's a very difficult area. It could have been a little sickness or adjusting to dealing with human beings. Who knows? All right, here, gets stronger. The lifeline gets stronger as moving on. Here's this fate line moving on up, strong fate line. But stops here, and then there's another one that branches off. All right, here we have lines moving up toward the heart line, not touching it. So that's not important. That could be a large fork. Okay, here is an allergy line here. And the thin part of it touches the lifeline. lascivious. So this person may have some drug habits. I don't know, but something is going on with that. All right, finally, the thumb, flexibility of the thumb. It comes out even, same size. So that means the person has good ideas and the ability, the desire to put those ideas into action. Sorry about the spelling of that, flexible. All right. Well, I hope you like this. Give a thumbs up if you do. Share, and welcome to the new subscribers. Very happy to have you. Okay? So, have a great day. Love yourself. Important. All right? Love and light. Bye.